Test, test. Test, test. Good morning. Good morning. Can we hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Excellent.
Can you hear me now?
Please make sure you move all the way up to the front, ladies and gentlemen. Please move up all the way to the front. All the way to the front, please. Nope, they are though, because they're going to come from here.
Exactly. That's why
The closer you are to the front, the earlier you get to leave. The closer you are to the front, the earlier you get to leave. Please move down all the way to the front. No empty seats. No empty seats, please. All the way to the front. All the way to the front.
just put him right back.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly find a seat. Miss Baglio, can you turn this up a little bit? Ladies, gentlemen, there's a lot of seats in the front. The closer you are to the front, the sooner you get to leave. Let's go. Let's move it. Ladies, gentlemen, let's move down, please. There's a ton of seats up here. Let's go. Lots of seats. Ladies, gentlemen, come on, keep on coming down. The closer you are to the front, the sooner you get to leave. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a seat. Move to the front, please. Gentlemen, let's take a seat. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I can wait. Ladies and gentlemen, let's settle in. Let's settle in. Good morning. That was actually really good for the first time. Love it. Only took them 4 years, yes. So, I'd like to congratulate all of you for making it to fourth quarter senior year. So there's a number of things that we need to discuss. Expectations, talking about graduation rehearsal, graduation itself, our Gambol, and I'm joined behind me, a number of adults who have been supporting you all year and also for the last 4 years. Very true. So let's quickly, before I introduce everybody, this is what we will be discussing. We have the calendar of events that we're going to be running through for fourth quarter. We have our expectations of this building. We know that there are AP exams coming up. We are hosting for the first time a Senior Spirit Week. We're going to be talking about graduation. We're going to be talking about Gambol. And then at the end, we will be distributing the contracts that you are required to turn in for Gambol. Before I do that, I would actually like us all to give Ms. Raft a round of applause. For 3 3/4 of a year, she has worked as your attendance clerical, your mama bear in the building, and ladies, gentlemen, and supported you when you needed her most. Last night at the Board of Education meeting, since Ms. Rapp has moved down to Dr. Bear's office and is working now with Dr. Bear directly, last night the Board of Education has actually approved our new attendance secretary. So I'd like to introduce you. I'm going to be introducing you to Mrs. Panicola. If you want to stand up and just wave. Obviously, as we have a quarter left and Ms. Panicola is just joining us, there's going to be a number of transition moments. She's going to be working with Ms. Raft and the other attendance clericals to learn our systems. So again, as we've been patient the last couple of weeks while we've had a vacancy, I'm going to be expecting the same thing. But if you need anything, you can always come to the office, touch base with her, and she will support you in the best way possible. Okay? So, let's talk about some of the major calendar events. There we go. All right. First and foremost, today we have our Gambol Assembly. Next, in 2 weeks, right before AP exam, will be the first day that you can turn in your Gambol permission slips and pay for your Gambol tickets. We are then going to have following AP exams, because we know that those 2 weeks are very stressful. We are going to have another opportunity for you to purchase your Gambol tickets during the week of May 19th. Okay, so that's after the 2-week time period. The week of June 1st, we will be hosting a Senior Spirit Week, and we'll talk about what those days are. Thank you. And then on June 21st, which is a Sunday, you have Gambol. On June 24th, which is a Wednesday, and that is after all exams are completed, we will be hosting graduation rehearsal, and you will be coming here in the auditorium. And then lastly, on June 25th, is graduation at 5 o'clock on Seabird Field. And if you don't know what that is, it's the track between Weber and Schreiber. Okay, so these are the big events. There are, I put at the bottom, there are some award ceremonies. We have the departmental awards, the community scholarship awards, and the athletic awards. But students attend those based on being invited to attend those ceremonies. So that's why that's not in the full gamut. Let's talk about our expectations. Some of you have already had this conversation with. The code of conduct is in place throughout the school year. That includes during Gambol, that includes during graduation rehearsal. The expectation is that you follow the code of conduct. That includes, and I believe a message has gone out, if not already, it will, participation in senior assassin. We do not condone that. That is not something to be done on this campus. If you are found to participate in that and it affects our building, there will be consequences. Most of you were here, I want to say it was 2 years ago, where we experienced a student who made a really poor choice. And many of you might have some of those feelings that when we had to go into a shelter in place. So let's make sure that we end the year in a positive light so that we are not repeating mistakes of others. Additionally, we also have to remember, while if you take AP exams and as seniors, you are granted release time from their AP courses only. That means if you are released, you are not wreaking havoc in this building. You are completing whatever other requirements that you have towards graduation, and you are serving as models and leaders of this school building. You are expected to wear your ID every single day. At this point, this is not new. If you don't have an ID and you've misplaced yours, please purchase a new one this week, so that this way we don't have any issues running into that. Absences. You are expected to notify the office if you are going to be absent. You are expected to sign in, sign out. All of those rules are applicable through the end of the year. Your last day of classes is June 15th. It's a Monday. That's the last day for seniors. The 16th is the last day for all of the underclassmen. You are not on this building. You're not on this campus, excuse me. If you need to be absent, you have a doctor's appointment, you bring a medical note. All of those rules apply. Nothing has changed. Parking. I will say that I'm fairly disappointed with how many conversations I've had to have about parking. You are only allowed to park in the spots assigned to students. We have more than 150 passes that have been issued to seniors. We don't have the spots for each of you to have a spot. Do not park in a teacher's parking spot. Do not park in a handicap spot. That is not a privilege that you have. I don't want to hear from security that you are parking where you don't belong. And you are not allowed to park up here on main campus until after 3:05. Lastly, unstructured time. Many of you have release time for senior experience. Maybe it's a little bit earlier than when you actually go to your senior experience. Your schedules might be lighter as it's part of second semester. You need to be using your unstructured time productively. If that means that you are off campus, which is your right and privilege, then you go off campus. You are not wreaking havoc in this building, because just like when you were ninth graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, all of that academic time and preparation for your Regents exams or your AP exams mattered greatly to you. So again, we're going to be leaders and models to the underclassmen that are here. Do we have a clear understanding? Let's try that again. Do we have a clear understanding? Spirit Week. This is something new, as I know many of you in your social studies class took a survey regarding Battle of the Classes, and it was a resounding, you were not interested in Battle of the Classes. So for this year, Student Council, Yearbook, and Senior Club have made an adjustment. So we heard you and we made an adjustment. The first week of June is going to be Senior Spirit Week. I know that typically May 1st is Decision Day. However, being mindful that it is right before AP weeks start, we are going to have the official Decision Day on June 1st. If you want to rep where you're going and post-secondary on May 1st, no one's stopping you, but we're going to have a full celebration on June 1st, working also with our counselors. June 2nd is going to be a Hawaiian Luau Day, dressing appropriately for school, abiding by the Code of Conduct. The 3rd is going to be a Schreiber Spirit Day. The 4th, for many of you, this is a really important day because it's the Senior Experience Fair that you're going to be participating in the library and doing a capstone of your senior experience. And on that afternoon, that Thursday, we have 2 major events happening. Number 1, we have Senior Suites, which is going to be the distribution of yearbooks. But at the same time, we are also going to be having our graduation speaker competition. So if you are interested in being our graduation speaker, you will please make sure you look out for the announcement for that. It is a competition that will happen on Thursday afternoon, June 4th. And then June 5th, we will be having and hosting our annual senior breakfast. So this week is really dedicated to you, and we picked this week because it's right before the week and a half before Regents Week, because the following week we have underclassmen taking English Regents, Algebra 2 Regents, and then we go into the full-scale Regents and Finals week. Any questions so far? Graduation rehearsal. Graduation rehearsal is at the end of Regents Week. It's on Wednesday, June 24th at 1 o'clock. At that time, students who have met all of the graduation merit measures will be issued their cap and gown. In order to be issued your cap and gown, all of your accounts have to be clean. What that means is if you've borrowed a calculator, all of you have been issued a Chromebook, you've returned your Chromebook with the charger. The charger, I believe, Mr. Donato, is $35, right? I can't hear the number. Guys, I can't hear the number. 20, okay. So again, Chromebooks will also be collected during senior breakfast. Okay, so you're going to be turning those in. If you have any exams and you need your Chromebook to help prepare for your exam, that's fine, we'll make it work. If you have any library books or textbooks that you have, all of those need to be clear. Now, here's the one thing about graduation rehearsal. Typically, it's usually a week before graduation. In this case, we don't have the ability in our schedule to do that. That means if you have any outstanding fees, oh, by the way, this also includes if you owe money for AP exams or any other thing that you spent through the district, you need a zero balance. in order to be given your cap and gown. So if there are any outstanding balances, you'll hear from my office, your parents will hear from my office, so that this way we can clear them up. So if you know that you have not turned in a calculator, you don't know where it is, please make sure you see the department chair in the math office, Dr. Gorman, to find out how much the calculator will be. If it's a textbook, make sure you touch base with your teachers. And by the way, it's not just from this year. It's from previous years. And the last piece for me is actually graduation. Graduation will take place on Thursday, June 25th. It will take place right here on Seabrook Field between Weber and Schreiber. Graduation will start at 5 o'clock. As long as the weather is beautiful and nice, or even a little rainy, a little cloudy, with a light chance of drizzle, we will be having an outdoor graduation, because that allows you guys to have unlimited guests. If on Thursday afternoon we see that it is calling for rain, we will postpone graduation to Friday morning, because we want to be outside. If on Friday morning it is raining again, we will then move into our rain delay, which means that we have graduation in the gymnasium. And that also means, if that is the case, that each student only gets 2 tickets. So our goal, just like yours is that we have a beautiful outdoor ceremony, because that allows all of your family and friends to come and celebrate your great achievement. With all of that, I'm going to turn it over to our Gambol co-chairs. I'm going to be turning it over to Mr. Fontano and Officer Tony to talk about Gambol. We're going to be completely respectful. Weber moving up ceremony is typically the morning of our graduation, so it doesn't conflict if you have somebody in 8th grade. Okay? And by the way, that's all the elementary. If you have younger siblings, elementary moving up is not on the same day of our graduation, the same time or grade. All right, without further ado, I am going to turn over the conversation to Mr. Fontano.
Hi, everybody. Are we excited to almost be done? Great. So I just want to talk a little bit about the Gambol. Okay. So we've taken it all in. We've seen it all. So some of you have been there before. Some of you have not. Obviously Gambol is a little bit more than just a regular prom, right? Obviously the way we do prom here is much bigger than a lot of other places do it. I know oftentimes when you tell people about what our prom looks like, they're a little surprised because it's a whole big production, right? Gambol is a little bit of a play on words, right? G-A-M-B-O-L means what? Does anyone know what that means? To frolic, right? To frolic, to have a nice time, but it's also a pun with gambling, right? Something that we don't really want to encourage you doing, but something that we sort of allow you to do at the event in order to have a little bit of fun. So just so those of you who have never been there before have a sense of what it's like, when you first arrive at the preserve, what you're first going to see when you get there is a big red carpet, right? And the red carpet is going to have bleachers, it's going to have a big screen, there's going to be photographers, there's going to be people taking pictures, clapping. I'm going to be at a podium ready to read off your names when you show up. So when you get to prom, what's going to happen is your bus is going to drop you off and you're going to line up in front of the red carpet. The parents are going to come and give each of you an index card. On that index card, you're going to write your name exactly how you want me or whoever else is doing the announcing to pronounce it, right? So if you have a name that you think I might have trouble pronouncing, if you can sound it out phonetically for me, exactly how you want me to say it, It'll make life a little bit easier for me. What'll happen is you'll line up with your date, or you'll line up with the group of people that you're going to walk in with, or by yourself if you choose to walk down by yourself. We'll give a little bit of gap in between each person. I'll say your name as you walk down. People will take pictures. Your parents will be very proud, and it'll be very nice as you make your way down into the Gambol. Now, if you don't want to walk down the red carpet, you don't have to.
Yeah, listen up, otherwise we're going to be here a lot longer. A few minutes, just listen.
Thank you, Officer Tony. So when you get there, we're going to get, I'll go back to the beginning. When you get there, you're going to get an index card. You're going to write your name down on the index card and then line up in front of the red carpet. In small groups, you're going to come down the red carpet as I announce your names. As you come down, there's going to be people taking pictures, people are going to be clapping, and then from there, you're going to enter the Gambol. If you don't want to walk down the red carpet when you get there, you don't have to, right? We allow people to walk in through the back. So if you don't want to do the whole rigmarole of walking down and getting your picture taken as you walk down the red carpet, you don't have to. It's definitely encouraged, right? Part of the whole event is sort of the pomp and circumstance of it, but if that's not something that you want to do, you don't have to do. As you can see, although it starts at 7, we're not going to allow entries after 8, right? So do make sure that your group gets there on time. Do make sure that you get there with enough time to make sure that you can enter before that 8 p.m. cutoff. Those of you that have been there before know that inside the event itself, you're going to be able to dance, there's going to be food, and then there's also going to be games for you to play, right? So once you get in there, everyone's going to get tickets, and then you're going to use those tickets to play games of chance that you can then use to win prizes at the end of the night, right? So it's actually pretty nice. You'll have a lot of things to do. As someone who's been there for the past 4 years, kids always have a great time, right? They're always having fun sitting around the tables, you know, laughing, playing the games with each other, winning prizes. And the prizes are usually pretty nice things that you're probably going to want, you know, for next year going into college, right? So it's definitely something to enjoy. Can we just quiet down for this part? So thinking about the end of Gambol, if we take a look, right, it's going to end at 11, right? 10:30 is going to be when we begin allowing people to leave. Now, those of you that were there last year know that the exit got a little bit hectic, okay? The way leaving the preserve works, it does not matter how quickly you get out of that building, right? Because the police are not going to allow your bus to leave until everyone's loaded up and until the time to dismiss has come, okay? So I know I'm already thinking to the end of Gambol, but this is usually when problems can happen, right? And remember that graduation is after this, right? So please keep that in mind as you're being dismissed from the Gambol, that there is still something pretty big coming up when we're thinking about how we're acting at the end of the event, okay? We're going to do our best to make sure it's nice and orderly. But if everybody's trying to ram towards the door at the exact same time, number one, it's not going to work. And number two, it's not going to matter. Because even if you're moving over people to get through a big group just to get to your bus, you're then just going to sit on your bus for 45 minutes while you wait for everyone else to get out. Okay? So we're letting you out pretty early this year, right? It doesn't run that late. But in exchange, we really need your cooperation when it comes to the end of this, right? Because that's the time when everyone's pretty exhausted, everyone's pretty tired, you guys may have things you're doing afterwards, and we just want to make sure it's nice and orderly and we can get out of there without anyone, you know, getting makeup ruined or getting all gross or something like that as we're trying to get out, okay? The event itself is really nice. They're going to talk about the event itself in a second, but I just want to make sure you know, right, that rushing out to get to your bus is not going to accomplish anything. We're going to do it nice and slow. We're going to do it nice and orderly. You're going to listen to the people that are there. And as long as we do that, you're going to have a great time. It's going to be something that you remember. You know, and for next year, we're going to be able to talk about how easy it was and how good of a time it was. All right? Okay. With that, I will now turn it over to the HSA to talk a little bit about permission slips, payment, and how that's going to work.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, really quickly before we jump into these crazy forms and all of the annoying stuff that I'm going to be emailing your parents every single day until Gambol. Everyone in this room has worked really, really hard to make you guys have an amazing senior experience, and I think we just need to give them a round of applause. I think we just need to say thank you to everyone here for the amazing senior experience. I know that Port Washington is an amazing place to live, and you guys have amazing privileges that a lot of other students in other schools don't have, and they don't have senior weeks like this, and they definitely do not have a Gambol like this. So that's something that we can say we take a lot of pride in, and everyone's working really hard to give you. Does anyone have any questions about the logistics or any questions at all about Gambol before I go into the forms? No? Nobody wants to talk to me? That's okay. We'll keep it moving. All right. So today, you have an index card in your hand. You wrote your name on your index card, right? Let's say yes. Just say, yes, I wrote my name on the index card, and start writing your name. So you're going to walk up here. There's going to be multiple lines. You're going to give us your index card, and then in return, we're going to give you a packet. This is the only package you're ever going to get, so you can't lose it. No, I'm not being serious. Obviously, if you lose it, we'll give you another one. But try not to lose it. Bring it home and fill it out, okay? There's multiple forms here. The first is the permission slip. And I know it sounds crazy, but your parents actually have to sign it. They actually have to give you permission to come to the Gambol. So it is here on this form. Now, we have the form in English and in Spanish, and if you need it in any other language, we can have it translated into any other language, okay? So if your parents want it in a different language, please just let Dr. Weinstein know, and we'll have it translated for you into another language, okay? So your parents have to fill out this form and sign it and say it's okay for you to come to Gambol. The next form is if you want to bring someone that's an underclassman. If you want to bring someone as a friend or as a date that's in the senior class, we don't need to know about that. We do need to know if you're bringing an underclassman. So if you're bringing someone that's a freshman, sophomore, or junior, you want them to fill out this form, okay?
Don't laugh, it does happen, guys.
I feel like I saw a lot of you guys as juniors at the prom last year. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't judge. I don't judge. Okay. And then the last form is if you want to bring a guest that doesn't go to school here. This form, you've got to read all of the instructions. It's serious. You need an ID. You need photocopies of IDs. You need information for the other person you're bringing. And there are age limits. So you have to read the form carefully. So if you're trying to bring your 28-year-old cousin to come to the prom with you, you can't do that, right? There's age restrictions and there's limits on your guests, okay? When you come to buy your ticket, when you come to purchase your Gambol ticket on one of the dates that we will be selling the tickets, you need to bring the packet with you, right? You need to bring it with you along with your form of payment. So your parents should be giving you a check, right, to pay, or cash, but checks are much easier. Your parents should be giving you a check, all right? If you're not sure, if you're unsure about the amount or how to make it out, we will help you at the table, but you do have to bring a form of payment and your forms. I can't accept a payment but no forms, okay? So you have to bring everything with you. And your parents really do need to sign it. So if I give you a blank copy and you disappear for 5 minutes and come back, I know your parents weren't down the hallway. So please make sure they sign it, okay? Do you have a question? You sure? Okay, all right. Anyway, so that's the form bit, okay? So these are really important. You have to get them in on the deadline. I also just want you guys to know that Dr. Weinstein does have to approve that you also attend Gambol. So if you guys have any issues, and I'm going to leave that to her, but if you guys have any disciplinary issues, you know, don't do anything bad that doesn't let you come to Gambol, because it is fun, okay, guys? And the underclassmen, if you do decide to bring an underclassman, you really have that freshman friend you want to bring with you, that person also needs to be approved by their class AP, by their class AP has to sign off on them coming. So you can't bring someone who has any disciplinary actions, okay? So you guys got to be really tight about that, all right? Now, the forms, besides the forms, the other requirements are that you guys just come ready to have a good time. Like, we're not here to do anything but give you guys a really nice Gambol experience. There's a lot of rules about pickup, about drop-off. The more important thing to understand is just come ready to have a good time. Just come ready to have fun, and come ready to be, like, present in the moment, not on the ground, not sleeping on a couch somewhere. Come ready to, like, have a good time, guys, okay? Officer Tony's gonna touch on a lot more stuff. Excuse me. But the bottom line is we need to get the forms in, and this is just a desperate plea from me to you, so just hear me out. Tell your parents to read their emails. Tell your parents to look at the emails about the Gambol. There's stuff about tickets. There's stuff about bleacher seats. There's stuff about lawn signs. It's really important. There's an Instagram somewhere. All right, Instagram. Guys, this is not going to be hard to remember. At Schreiber Gambol 2026. Get your parents to add this Instagram to their Instagram, or whatever you do to make Instagram pop up on your feed. You guys can join it if you want. It's just updates. Updates on bleacher seats, updates on lawn signs, updates on dates when we're going to be purchasing items. Fundraising stuff is all going to be on this Instagram. So please tell your parents to actually open their emails, read our emails, and please get them to join the Instagram. Does everybody know that we have an Instagram? Yes? Can you guys say what it is? Thank you, guys. You'll never forget this now, right? Really quickly before I hand it over to Nita, I also just want to point out that we are still actively doing great Gambol fundraisers, including merch. So if you don't have your senior merch and you want to wear senior merch for Spirit Week, then I guess you guys got to get on the Instagram and figure out how to order some senior merch, okay? And then we also have another couple of fundraisers coming up. We have pickleball, we have an online auction. Basically, get your parents to give us money so we can throw you a really nice party. Can you do that? Yes, I love it. Nita, do you have anything to say?
Okay, so Lay just mentioned about fundraising events. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but this Sunday we are having a pickleball event at Sports Time. You guys are invited. Just apply, and then that will help, to fundraise for us. Okay, the Gambol, it's amazing. Parents, teachers, the entire community have been working really hard on throwing you guys an amazing party. So think Hollywood. That's all I have to say. We have a great theme for you, and we just want you guys to, have a great time and have fun. You deserve it. 4 years of hard work, and this is for you, okay? Thank you.
So I just want to touch on one thing that Mr. Fontano said, and then I'm going to turn it over to Officer Tony. And I had said this at the very beginning. Gambol is before graduation. I'll repeat that. Gambol is before graduation. If there is a decision to make a really bad choice that violates our code of conduct, the only recourse that we have is to prevent you from participating in graduation. So that is extremely important for you to hear, let it sink in, and register. The only recourse we have is graduation, the participation in the actual ceremony. So I'm now going to turn it over to Officer Tony to talk about some of our safety security measures that we discussed last year before junior prom, but then also discussing the specifics when it comes to Gambol.
Good morning, everybody. I want to introduce you to Officer Ben Flock, a Schreiber graduate from a few years ago, 2017, almost 10 years. You know, for me to talk to you, and I've talked to you a lot, and some of you more than others over the years since you've been in kindergarten, pre-K, and now you're here graduating. I just want to let you know that this is such a huge step for you. This is an accomplishment that you achieved, and with the assistance of your family, your parents, and staff, as well as your peers. And the night of graduation, prior, after, the days following, is a time for celebration, but it must be done appropriately. I can stand here and talk to you for hours on things that have happened in the past here in Port Washington that turned tragic. I could share names. I could share times and locations and exactly what took place. I could share with you how we had to knock at the door of somebody's house in the middle of the night and tell them they need to come to the hospital because their child was involved in an incident related to a poor decision that they made. And that feeling stays with us forever, as a police officer, as a person, and as residents of this town. You are young. You have your entire life ahead of you. The book that you are writing since you have been born needs to be written. It needs to be longer. And those decisions that you make now are going to determine how long that book is. That night, prior and after, is not the time to shorten that book. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Pre-prom parties, after-prom parties, while you're at the prom. Yes, you want to go out and have a good time, but it can be done without alcohol or other drugs. And if you think that it's appropriate to drink prior and you come there, I just want to remind you that if you do drink and you show up impaired or intoxicated, you will not be allowed in. While you're at the event, if the effects of alcohol are now kicking in, you will be sent home. Your parents will be notified, and you will not be going out with your friends afterwards. Don't let something happen. You have a stage to walk across that you've been waiting for since you started school. Don't let a poor decision ruin that for you. Does anybody know the history of the Gambol? I'm going to tell you. Thanks for being honest. So many years ago, I believe it was back in the 50s, the parents decided they needed to do something because of a tragic incident that took place in this town and in other towns related to drinking and driving. So they said, you know what? We are going to host an event for the students to keep them safe the night they graduate. So this originally was, you graduated in the morning, and that evening, you had a Gambol, you had a prom. And it was in the gym here at the high school. The parents picked a theme. They decorated tables, chairs. Food was set up. Parents served. The front of the school was decorated. The lobby was decorated as you walked down the hall to the gym. And it was held in this building for many years until construction took place and it moved to the preserve. This is a gift from the parents that work hard for not just 1 year for your senior year, but for several years in planning this event for you to keep you safe so a tragedy that took place years ago isn't repeated. And unfortunately, we see things and we see the dangers that are associated with this. So I'm asking you now, the tradition that was started back in the 50s to keep you safe is something we want to make sure that we continue with. This year's Gambol is a lot shorter than previous years. When I graduated years ago, it was 10 o'clock at night till 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what time you're allowed to leave? 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was great because you know what? You hung out, you danced, you ate, you're with your friends. When you were done, you and your date or you and some friends went and usually watched the sunrise somewhere. And then a lot of people went out afterwards and just hung out. We didn't go away. We didn't go to Jersey. We didn't go to the Hamptons. We weren't in the city partying. We didn't have buses. As a matter of fact, usually the parents dropped the car off for us here, and after Gambol was over, we were able to drive to wherever we were going with our date and our friends. It's a lot different now. It's a lot more freedoms. Our parents didn't have cell phones to call us on. So I'm asking you to please make proper choices. Now, real fast, I want to have Officer Flock talk to you about something that was mentioned earlier. There's this tradition called senior assassin. Yeah, right? Yeah. Is that fun? Yeah. Well, let's talk about how much fun it was one year.
Can everyone hear me? Yes, in the back? All right. So my name is Officer Flock. I graduated from high school here. Are we after you? Okay. In 2017. I played lacrosse here, went to Hofstra. Senior assassin was not a thing when I was in high school. 2 years ago, we had an individual that was sitting behind the turf field over here, or I guess now it's turf, with a water pistol that was an identical replica of the service weapons that we carry. Someone called it in that said that there's someone by the school with a firearm. You guys are not sheltered. You guys all know what goes on in this day and age. We are not treating it like it is a water gun. We are treating it like someone has an actual gun who's going to come on campus, and it's going to be a real bad day for everyone. Guys, I totally get you guys want to continue tradition, have fun, do whatever you're going to do. Please use your head about bringing water guns, toy guns, or anything that even resembles a gun to school. It is wildly inappropriate. For us, this is business. A lot of us worked in bad areas in the city, and we've done a lot of stuff with running and gunning, okay? You guys are not going to like the way we treat you, and for a lot of students, it's going to be really traumatizing when 6, 8, 12 cops come running at someone with their guns out, treating this like this is an active shooter. It's not funny at all, and we don't want a simple game to turn into a horrible accident, okay? It's really not funny. Coming from as cops, we don't want to have to do this. You guys don't want to go through it. Just please be smart about how you play this game. Thank you.
And what's amazing is your parents then blame us that we put you in danger. When meanwhile, we're getting the phone call from residents who are in fear for their safety and the safety of other people. And it's not just here at the school, it's around the community. It's in front of Burger King. It's driving down the street. It's in front of the train station. It's in neighborhoods. It's a very dangerous game. All right? Please, once again, you earned this. This is something you worked for. Don't ruin it from a poor decision. Congratulations. I will see you at the Gambol. I will see you at graduation. Thank you.
So one last reminder. As we head to the end of the school year, many students feel that there is a rite of passage to entertain the concept of a senior prank. Let me be abundantly clear. It is not a rite of passage. If you put this building, you put students or yourself in danger, there will be consequences for the building, with you in the building, as well as potentially with our law enforcement. Our goal here for the remainder of all of Q4 is to have a very smooth, celebratory environment where we really truly celebrate all of the incredible things that you have all accomplished over the last 4 years. And I know this is a little bit more of a serious tone, but between senior assassin, a senior prank, and then potentially making bad choices at Gambol or even before Gambol, you can really diverge the pathway that each of you are actually currently on. And we don't want to see all of your hard work go to the wayside. We want to see you all have and experience the incredible opportunities in front of you and really come back to us and say, look at how much I've accomplished because of my time here at Schreiber. So with that being said, every single person should have received an index card. At this point, if you have not yet, please write your first and last name on your index card. Because of our cell phone ban, we could not do a QR code like we did for junior prom. What you're going to do, you are going to be called up row by row, so do not bum rush the front of here. I will be calling you up. You will hand in your index card, you will take your permission slip, and then you will take and exit. If you're on this side, you're going to exit that door. If you're on that side of the table, you're going to exit through that door. And those of you sitting in the back, you are going to wait a little bit of time for your classmates to come through. If there is a classmate of yours who was unable to attend, they were sick, they are not here for whatever reason, just like we did for junior prom, they will have to meet with Mr. Fontano. This presentation has been recorded, and they will have to sit and watch it because of all of the important things that we have shared. All right. Are there any questions before we start giving out permission slips? So we have, when you are receiving your permission slip, the expectation, if you're going out this door, you're going around. Period 3, we have about 8 minutes before it starts, so please do not linger in the hallways, go into the cafeteria, spend the rest of the period while you're waiting for your other friends who are still getting their permission slips. All right? So Mr. Fontana, we're going to start row by row. And then I'm going to shut this off so that this way we can